a 24/7 computerized, partial human, partial computer drone pilot. It was like an intriguing idea. In near future United States, drone pilot Robert Brooks is in a car accident and is left comatose. His younger sister Noelle is approached by Rob's direct supervisor and is given this golden opportunity, or so it seems. Robert's consciousness, it can be uploaded and used by the military to basically pilot drones 24/7. And in exchange, Noelle will have access to a similar stream of consciousness that she can interact with. So the military gets access to Robert and his abilities as a drone pilot, and Noelle gets access to spend time with her brother. It's absolutely unbelievable. I mean, I have been writing plays, since I was like a little kid, like since before I could write, sort of thing. Like I have always been writing plays and dialogue and everything like that. And so to see people put, so it's one thing to see like actors read it and hear your words come to life. It's another thing to see people put in the same amount of heart and energy into the piece as like I have. That's such a blessing. And that's like I love writing, but the reason why I like theater is that everyone puts their own perspective and their own skills and their own outlook into the piece, and that's so special. Especially like now when we are all together but separate. The moments where I've gotten to hear about people's ideas or hear their enthusiasm for the show, or see their designs, that's so special. That is it. It's like the greatest blessing as an artist and as a young playwright, and I have learned so much, and I really, really admire everyone that is working on the production. So last year I took a Chekhov class and with Craig Mathers, who is a faculty member here on campus, and one of the projects that we did was about like finding real pieces of speech and text from people out in the real world, typically in like news interviews and stuff like that. And I came across these interviews from a man who was a whistleblower for the U.S. drone program and exposed like a lot of the brutalities that were like taking place across overseas. And I don't know, I was really, really drawn to that. And I was drawn to this, to the dual-sidedness of it, how like the horror and the self-awareness that like some of the people involved in this program had. And then also on the other end of the spectrum, some people, were very gung-ho about, defending the country and everything like that. When I first started like drafting down ideas for this, that was when I first heard Going to California by Led Zeppelin. My family during the pandemic, we really got into playing Settlers of Catan, and my dad would just, he always had, the aux, so he would play a lot of his like favorite classics, and that song played for the first time. Or I heard it for the first time when my family was all together, and at the same time when I was drafting this play, and it felt really right. The energy of the song, like it strikes for me the same feelings that I felt when I was first writing this. And for me, it's really important to have that connecting factor to when you first have an idea, because oftentimes like when like I write like new drafts and when things are being modified and when you have to like start from scratch or anything like that, it's really easy to lose sight of your original vision, and it's easy to get discouraged, or at least it's easy for me to get discouraged when I get notes, because I am young and full of hubris. But remembering that I had this feeling and this little flicker of inspiration and a hope for a vision in the future. It's really special. And also my dad showed it to me, and I love my dad, and it's like a nice little way to pay homage to him. I know that the piece is more political than anything else I've ever written. And for me, having music that sort of ties people together is it's just important to me that everyone can connect with it. Hopefully, Zoom theater isn't going to be our reality for too much longer. But I definitely felt like a little sad that, my first staged play is going to be on Zoom. I was a little bit like, oh no, of course, I have to hit my mini big break, in the middle of a pandemic. But I honestly, sitting here, I wouldn't change it for the world. I have learned so much about, the true meaning of art, the true meaning of theater. It's beyond the confines of an auditorium. It's the energy and imagination and the artistry that everyone puts in. And I'm so freaking excited to see how the show turns out.